Do you have bumps on the back of your arms and the back of your legs? Are those bumps flesh colored or red bumps? Well, those could be caused by what's called keratosis pilaris, otherwise known as follicular keratitis, or they could be caused by ingrown hairs. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 tips on how to get rid of bumpy skin on the back of your arms and your legs. And like always, links and sources will be located in the description below. And this video today is because we did a community poll, and based on that poll, about 75% of those who answered the poll wanted this video. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, my name is Christy and I'm the owner of Go See Christy Beauty Boutique, and I have been treating clients for over 11 years, especially in the area of acne, hyperpigmentation, and fine lines and wrinkles. But today we're going to be talking about something that my waxing clients encounter, and that is the bumpy skin, whether it's due to shaving or waxing, or they just have keratosis pilaris. And so in this video, we'll talk about what keratosis pilaris is, as well as who is affected or who is more likely to get it, and then the tips on how to reduce the bumps. So stay tuned towards the end where I share with you a trip. Let's go on a trip. So stay tuned towards the end of the video where we'll be talking about a tip about keratosis pilaris that not a lot of people know but works. So keratosis pilaris is a genetic disorder which is an over-keratinization of the skin's hair follicles, which can get trapped in the pores, causing bumpy skin or goosebumps or chicken skin. This can also lead to hair becoming trapped underneath the keratin plug, causing an ingrown hair and making the bumps appear larger. So the appearance of keratosis pilaris on the skin is basically flesh-colored or red bumps with dry patches, and they usually are the more common areas are going to be on the back of the arms, back of the legs, your cheeks, and even the buttocks. Generally, the bumps don't itch or hurt, and it can get worse in the drier months, especially in winter when the skin typically becomes drier. So who is more likely to develop this? Well, 50% of the population generally has it. This is an autosomal dominance with incomplete penetrance. So this means when one parent has the gene, then that means there is a 50% chance that each child carries that gene. So that doesn't mean that if you carry the gene, which is the genotype, that is not physically expressed, which is the phenotype. So who can get it? So symptoms can appear at 2 years of age or under, adolescents, about 50 to 80% of adolescents, and even adults lasting all throughout their life, and that's 40% of the population. And both men and women can get it, but slightly higher with women. So since I have a high amount of viewers coming from India, I'm also going to very briefly name a condition that's more common in India and the surrounding countries, and that is called erythromelanosis follicularis faciet coli. So this condition is described by 3 things: hyperpigmentation, follicular plugging, and erythema of the face and neck. And erythema basically means redness. Also, your risk of getting keratosis pilaris is if you have one or more of the following: asthma, hay fever, dry skin, atopic dermatitis, eczema, obese or overweight, ichthyosis vulgaris, which is a very dry skin condition, or have melanoma and taking vemurafenib. So here come the tips on smoothing out your skin. So keratosis pilaris, basically you have a slower desquamation rate, so a slower skin cell turnover rate, which causes the keratin plugging. So it's really important to exfoliate, but it's how you exfoliate. So it's not just about scrubbing your skin or scrubbing your skin raw. For example, one of the things that you can use is a cleanser, an exfoliating cleanser that has glycolic acid, lactic acid, and even salicylic acid. So the AHAs, the glycolic acid and lactic acid, what they do is they break down the intercellular cement that holds the dead skin cells together. If it has a beta hydroxy acid, what that does is that actually dissolves the larger skin cells. So using a cleanser that has the AHAs and BHAs are much more effective than using sugar scrubs or salt scrubs, especially salt scrubs, because that can be drying in the skin, which then can exacerbate keratosis pilaris. So one of the cleansers I'd like to introduce is called the MD Dermaceutical Duo Action Exfoliating Cleanser. This has worked really, really well. So this was originally introduced to my clients who had acne, because what's unique about this cleanser, it actually addresses 3 types of bumps: flesh color bumps, red bumps, and red bumps with pustules. It has 3 different types of acids to address that. So the first one is glycolic acid, and then it has the salicylic acid, and then the last thing is it has lactic acid. So lactic acid is also an AHA. It's a lot more gentle than the glycolic acid, but it's also very hydrating. And I've seen some articles out there. It didn't have any research to back it up, so I'm not really sure about it, but I have read some articles saying that lactic acid is more effective than salicylic, but it has all 3 of the different types of acids. So this is why it's very, very effective. So my clients have actually used this for waxing when they get the post-waxing bumps or razor bumps. But then a couple of my clients started using it for their keratosis pilaris, including my assistant. And she was using a ton of this. And I said, "What are you using this for?" And she said it was great for the back of her legs and the back of her arms. So this actually really works with keratosis pilaris. It is a non-foaming cleanser. It's very unique. I haven't really come across a cleanser like this. And so it's worked best on dry skin. So after you've cleansed your skin, you can put this on, leave it on, let it work a little bit, massage it, and then kind of take it off with an exfoliating towel. That's what works best. But if you have sensitive skin, you can actually apply it on wet skin to dilute the acidity of this cleanser. I do not recommend it for rosacea prone or extremely sensitive skin. So the next step is that when you put this on your body, you let it sit for a little bit, massage it in, use an exfoliating towel to wash it off. After, you can do one of 2 things. You can apply a exfoliating gel, or you could actually use an exfoliating lotion. So the first one I'm going to talk about, again, because this has been very effective for a lot of my clients, it's called Serious Serum, and none of this is being sponsored. All the videos I've done so far, none of them have been sponsored. This I've been using for since 2012, I think, and literally thousands of clients have used this, and it's a water-based clear gel. It does have glycolic acid, it has salicylic acid, it also has lactic acid, but it also has some hydrating properties in here as well, such as aloe vera gel. It has anti-inflammatories such as chamomile, green tea extract, and it does have a coconut fruit extract, which can be hydrating. Now, it does on here have, it's almost to the bottom of the ingredients list, is a peppermint oil. So for those of you who have extremely sensitive skin, this may not work for you. But again, almost all my clients use this for the bumps, keratosis pilaris, as well as the ingrown bumps that people can get with shaving and waxing. And we do lots of waxing here as well, and this has been very, very effective, and you don't need a whole lot. So if you want to use it for keratosis pilaris, after you get out of the shower, now your skin is actually more exfoliated. So when you put this on, it actually is more readily absorbed. Now, the reason why I chose to go with a water-based gel is because the exfoliating lotions, a lot of them, especially that I've seen at the drugstore, what I didn't really care for is that they had so they would have an exfoliating ingredient, but then they would have an ingredient that could clog the pores of some people. So for example, amlactin, that's one of them that I looked up. So amlactin uses lactic acid as an exfoliating agent in their lotion. However, they do have petroleum and mineral oil in there as well. And some of them had fragrances. So, and I've heard from people that when they used a lotion, even though it was exfoliating, they still got bumps. So they went back to the serious serum. So again, it just depends on your skin type. And the other thing that I didn't care for too much is it did have propylparaben and methylparaben, and it was actually higher on the list. Usually you want to see them like at the very, very bottom, and they were like higher on there. So for those of you who are paraben sensitive, you may not prefer that as well. The second one was called Touch, and that is a exfoliating lotion as well. It had everything that I was looking for as far as a low pH. It uses lactic acid as an exfoliating ingredient. However, it did have glycine soja oil, which is it's a soybean oil, and soybean oil has a lot of emollient properties. Now, if you are one of these people who don't want to use anything that has GMO, you want to use non-GMO, a lot of the soybean doesn't say non-GMO verified, so then you're going to have to assume, because most soybean that are planted here in the United States is genetically modified. If you don't care about that, then that may be the product for you. The other one is it does have fragrance. So fragrance for most people is not a big deal. However, if you have keratosis pilaris, some of you may react to it or give you more bumps. So that's another concern. Again, these were highly rated, but again, I just looked at the ingredients list. And last but not least, here is one that is highly rated, and the title of it is DRMT GY. So basically dermatology with all the vowels taken out. Keratosis pilaris treatment. It's rated very high. I could not for the life of me find the ingredients list anywhere. I did look at the reviews and someone said that it worked, but it smelled awful. So I will put the links in below the description so you can find the product, read it for yourself, and see if you want to go ahead and try it. So now there is something new with this one. This actually has links to my Amazon store. So if you purchase from there, I do get a small percentage. It's an affiliate link where the other ones not necessarily were. So that's the difference, because we've had some confusion where people thought that I was selling the products actually on Amazon, and that's not me. So, but this one actually will have affiliate links. You can click on it, look at the product. If you want it, great. If you don't, I'm just telling you what the ingredients are. So my preference, and again, this is based on literally thousands of clients with all different types of skin conditions that worked. So and I'll put the links of those as well. And that is the MD Dermaceutical Duo Exfoliating Cleanser. If you get an exfoliating towel, the other one is try not to use a loofah. I know a loofah is natural, but that contains lots of bacteria when you keep using it over and over. So the bacteria on our skin and the yeast on our skin, the cells actually that contain that get onto the loofah. So that's not the most sanitary way to cleanse. So you want one that actually is treated with microban. So that is what you need for keratosis pilaris. And here is the final tip that I don't see a lot. So when you have keratosis pilaris, especially if you have the ones where you have the little tiny red dots where it looks like bacteria is actually living in the pores, if you go out in the sun, depending on your skin type, anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes or all the way up to 5 to 7 minutes with unprotected sunscreen. Can you believe I said that? No sunscreen on there, and then you get direct sunlight, just a few minutes on the back of your arms or the back of your legs or wherever you have keratosis pilaris, and just do it 1 or 2 times a week. The keratosis pilaris, 1, goes away, or 2, is greatly reduced depending on how much of the keratosis pilaris that you have. So you don't want to do it till you're burnt. You just want enough UV rays, because UV rays again can penetrate under there. So for whatever reason, UV rays or sunlight, just a few minutes, once or twice a week on there regularly. For some people, it totally goes away. So this is the caveat though. Because if you're using products to exfoliate, to dissolve the keratin plug and makes your skin more photosensitive, if you're typically someone who can be out in the sun for 5, 7, 10 minutes without a sunscreen, you might want to bring it down to 3 to 4 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes, again, depending on your skin type, just enough to feel that heat on there, and that keratosis pilaris will go away or greatly be reduced. So leave in the comments below if you have keratosis pilaris or you have ingrown hairs and what you do to remove them. And for those of you who've tried my products, go ahead and comment below and let us know that you love the products. So thank you for watching.